Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 26th of May. So after the bank holiday we're seeing a bit of volatility. Yesterday very quiet market on a lot of these currencies, pulling back yesterday to the euro here, pulling back to the 50.21 area. We're seeing a bit of a bounce at the moment. Now I'm looking more perhaps forward. If this holds today, maybe as the week goes through we could see a continuation of this bounce back towards that daily 200. As it sits at the moment, it's on the shorter time frames. You can see it on the hourly in a moment, but it's certainly put higher low in. Just running into a bit of resistance there with a 534. Now, a failure of this, well, could see it roll back. These markets have gone right into their sort of R2s in this particular case, R3s in some. They really have pushed through through the Asian session there. That said, the pivots are a little bit pinched today because of the relatively light ranges of yesterday. At this stage with the euro, it's not been a great trading currency for me lately. Yes, we do sometimes get some nice looking moves through it. A lot of these nice looking moves are after the event, and they're pretty choppy and difficult to get into in the first place. These are showing sort of signs of a bit of overboughtness. Such a word as overboughtness, but they are a bit overbought. We could see some corrections. Got to watch out. Some of those corrections may be followed through with a shove, but we'll just watch them carefully. The euro, in fact, isn't extreming or anything. It looks okay, but as I say, I've been trusting the euro less than most of the pairs recently. The pound is just running back into its daily 50, daily 21. It's failed around this area quite a few times lately. Maybe this is the time it'll push through. I don't hold out a lot of hope for it, but it's, as I say, there's a time when everything fails and it will continue pushing through. As I look at it on a shorter time frame, 60-minute here, it's extreming. You see on the RSI figure here, some would be reading that as overbought, and well, my signal's showing it as overbought in the hourly here as well. Not so on the 30s quite yet, but these, as I say, these could roll off, having pushed up so far through the Asian session. Bit of profit taking maybe come through. With these extremes, my concern would be, of course, they could push up a bit later. So if you was to be shorting, looking for something more significant in terms of retracements, it may only be a shallow retrace before they push back. So a lot of the price action may be for the days already done on some of these pairs. So a bit of patience is certainly needed. Dollar yen's a bit soft. It's been soft in terms of, well, it's pushing up here. That's the yen. Effectively, it would suggest it's back to risk on, and money's being unwound back out of the yen. And we're seeing this sort of move up over the last couple of days. A lot of Asia going back, starting back in with a lot of business, unlocking their businesses. So it may be seen as cheer through the markets. So this does look like it's got the potential at some point to get up to that 500. So at some point it's looking all right at the moment and heading that way. Coming down to this 60-minute time frame, well, slow at the moment, consolidating around this area, but as I said, with the pivots, you're already through quite a bit of range. If you ignore the pivots, even just look at the range we've had relatively. Yesterday didn't really move at all. Previous days, well, it does get a bit more of a shove on. So, but it may be a move over a couple of days for that yen to get back into that target of that 500, 4-hourly 500. It's easy for me to say. So Aussie dollar, Aussie regaining a bit of strength here. Never really lost it on the dailies that much. I mean, we've seen these retracements for sure, but each time we've been seeing a new high being put in. Maybe later this week we'll see that daily 200 eventually hit. As the closer it gets to it, the more likely it's going to be perhaps hitting it. It may be when it's doing it diverging, but it's not up there yet. Just looking, the strength of this move maybe not looking as good as that original move, but it's early in the week. We could see that pitched up. It's hit the weekly pivot here nicely, that R1 at 66.30ish, 29.30ish area. is not too far away from that 200, so we could see that pushing up later in the week. For now though, again, difficult. It's pushed up quite a long way through the Asian session on these movements, but it's really looking for potential retracements as the morning goes by. Canadian dollar, I'm just going to show this on the hourly here. Consolidated day yesterday, selling off through the Asian session again today. Already moved quite a bit, extreming down here on the RSI, which may suggest it's a little bit oversold. We'll see, but those, as I say, those signals, often any retracement we'll see a move back down. So just be wary of that if you're trying to go look for the longs after this. But nothing obvious showing for me there on that hourly point. Okay, quick look at oil. He says, so oil's continued shoving up here. It sold off quite sharply last week, pulled back up on Friday, and is continued through yesterday, and looking like pretty much like it's running through again today there. So just running back into those highs. So oil on retracements does look pretty healthy. Unfortunately, it just sort of started going at the wrong time for me and missed the in. But there we are. Maybe another one yet. But looking much more positive, as I said earlier on, with the move of Asia sort of starting to unlock. That may be, or certainly will be, a driver for maybe slightly higher oil prices. Okay, S&Ps. S&P's pushed through the 200 this morning on the dailies here, which is a bit of a positive sign there. As much as I've been not liking the S&Ps for a long time, you've got to just accept that they're just pushing up. I can't sit there shorting them at the moment, but it may give opportunities. I'm just looking, there's a very soft divergence going through from the previous high here. Maybe it'll roll a little bit this morning, and again it's already through into R2 areas with the pivots here. Now untouched daily pivot below may become a draw later on, but this has literally stepped its way up, and as I said, the unwinding of lockdowns will potentially help stocks even further, so we just need to be careful there. Okay, news wise today, not a lot of news to come out. We've got consumer confidence US at 3 o'clock this afternoon at 10 p.m. Then we've got to wait for the Bank of Canada governor to speak. So don't think too many people will be sitting and watching that. And the New Zealand financial stability report is at 10 p.m. as well. So nothing really significant through today. We've got we've got the ECB financial stability review at 2 p.m. But with a lot of these, people aren't really looking at the numbers too much at this stage. They will be certainly gone over as all countries start coming out of this lockdown, but for now I think it may just be washed over again. Have a great day. Bye for now.